Welcome back to the StarLadder Minor Wow. Welcome back to the StarLadder Minor Close Qualifiers. We're into map 2 between Paradox and Ground Zero in the OCE leg of the Asian Qualifiers. I'm the Eternal Dre. We're taking you through this series. And all the series is here on our secondary stream. If you're just joining us, you missed our first map of Inferno. It was picked by Paradox, but won by Ground Zero in a 14-1 first half that eventually went 16-9. 16-9 in their favour over on the Ground Zero side. So a bit of a comeback that was set up by Paradox, but couldn't quite make it go all the way, unfortunately. So as if they can do better on Nuke. It's not a great map for them. At the same time, it's not a great map for Ground Zero, but they've had a lot more greater results compared to some of the bigger teams in OCE. So let's see whether that will end up being a factor for the reason why they chose it against Paradox. His pistol round out for Paradox side as Moe gets the first frag. Here's the vent dive coming through, but the rest of the T side main force are going to get ripped apart on the A side. Chubb on 25 points of health and should get peeked in by Zemp, eventually getting that kill. Meanwhile, of course, Kingfisher down over to the B bomb site. Will stick the bomb plant in. But now going to fend off the hungry CTs, ready for a trade frag, ready to spot him, take him down. He will get out panic, but now Moe here on the backstab towards decontamination. Spots him behind the blue box hiding. And we'll deal with him. The defuse will come through. A simple pistol for Ground Zero. Not confident, not as confident as the last map's pistol was. But certainly going to be a confident pistol regardless. Paradox there with that bomb plot. I'm going to opt to buy back into the next round here. Didn't see this come out from them in the first map, so a bit of a change of pace. Certainly want to bring the fight back to Ground Zero after they pretty decently mopped up on the first map. And Scouts also being in play for the CT forces. You can see there's one up here towards Heaven on the back of Zem. And almost lands that first headshot for his trouble. Moe will get the information called out to him. He'll challenge on towards the player on silo boost. Loops the tag down to just 7 points of health. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the map, towards the ramp room is where he tried to challenge, and now challenges will come through from the CTs also out to the outside position. The bomb has successfully made its way downstairs and on to the B bomb site. Praken's actually going to get a kill for his trouble. Looks like Kingfisher taking out Bone Rock, so holding out a pretty decent amount of control and low HP for Kingfisher. Can't go much further than that one frag, so 3 versus 3. And AK's picked up. Chubb's going to hold them back here on A. Sprays on the first, looks for the second man and gets that kill as well, leaving Moe as the last man standing. The force investment has worked here for Paradox. The M4 up here on the catwalk, trying to find a way in through double doors, sprayed down by Praken. And Paradox with a very nice, fast outside player, going to try him right back against Ground Zero. Turn us to 1-1 on the board. Already getting with a response against Ground Zero. It took them in several different rounds before they got a response on the other end of the field. On that first map especially. Scout in once again, brought back here by Ground Zero. 2 shots, one connects to the head here for Zem. Tagging up Chubster as well. Meanwhile, Tensai out to the outside on top of Silo Boost. Will try and challenge and push that Scout out of play. No kills as of yet for the T side line. They might be able to find one out here if the Scout keeps facing in. The AKs have firepower advantage, but the efforts on Zem's part have actually opened up a bit of a chance for Ground Zero. I mean, the pistols can do a lot of damage, and against 2 players on 31 points of health, it's not impossible to win. It all comes down to the execution, I think, for Paradox. 60 seconds on the clock for him. Eagles in, Praken first up, headshot found, second player, and a third lined up from Panic. Bomb dropped, AKs can get recovered. A nice, clean sweep round from Ground Zero. 3 AKs saved. And on the force buy, they will strike back against Paradox's force buy of their own. 2-1 on the board. Will this force the EK from Paradox? Will they finally concede a lead? Looks like they might just. No, P250 out for Tensai. No further investment other than that. No Kevlar for him. Little bits of utility brought by 3 other players, but that's it. Ooh, nice in. Damage going to get done. The spray in from Burn Rock. Takes himself 2 frags, 3 frags. Digging in for a little bit more. Will blind fire his way through against Brackham, 4 HP. Moves to takes damage and does die through the vents to get downstairs. Pretty nice and confident. Should get a bomb point again for Paradox and for Nico. That wouldn't be too bad. Brackham, close range against this M4. Will drop down through the vents. And Panic ready, Molotov away. Noobs are going to go falling, and Brackham, last man standing over on A. They know exactly where he is. Well, not exactly where he is, but they'll be able to spot him. Burnrock will finish off the job with 4 kills to his name. Great hold of the squeaky position. Third on the board for ground 0. But again, not a bad round for Paradox. Bomb plant and Nico. Very little investments. They get a nice cash injection into the next round. AKs can come out on 5 individuals for the Paradox side. Meanwhile, the AK's on 3 others from ground 0, keeping all 5 of their players left alive at the end of round 4. There's lots of firepower for the CT line. M4 for Burnrock, and of course the Scout still in for Zemp. Making as much value out of this weapon, or getting as much value out of this weapon as possible, obviously, with the Scout shots towards outside. They have been looking pretty crispy so far. Not as many headshot angles, not as many Scout shots to the craniums as we would like to see, but tag damage that does set up the GZ boys. Trade frag certainly at the potential for them. This time he's playing out towards ramp room to hopefully cut off any Paradox control through the lobby area. Meanwhile, Moe towards outside deals with Brackham to kick things off. Nice days doing damage onto Chubb. These 2 players playing the cross pretty well so far for ground 0. Chubb and Kingfisher lose HP, lose their lives. Tenside's once again going to sneak his way into the B bomb site, and they're going to have to cover this off a bit more confidently in ground 0. They're letting him get away with a lot of bomb plants on the Paradox side, and actually a couple of picks from Tenside will turn into a 3 versus 3. So chances rebought, but Chubb low HP will get taken out. Moves to 90 point of contact, 2 players lined up. He takes out the first player on towards the ramp door, and now it's up to Void. Rounds that corner against the one man, the Deagle up, AK from decontamination. Molotov onto the bomb site, but the fuse should be stuck. No, he goes up with it. That might be a bit of a bad sign, but no, there's plenty of HP for Void. Should be able to get there with the defuse of his own right. Bit of damage done to ground 0, though. Paradox with a little bit of investment. That bomb plant, that damage should be able... It's getting more a bit of a better standing here for ground 0, but 3 rounds lost bonus. I don't think the T-side want to justify the forced investment here for round 6, so it will just be Deagles in, CZ on Kingfisher. A half quasi buy at best for Paradox. Best I got. Panic rotates out towards ramp, spot sprays, and takes 1 player for a lot of damage. Eventually gets a kill onto Noobster. He's got to wait for backup to arrive though. Tenside's back wrapped around him against him. Let's get a kill for his trouble, alongside the second one coming in for Brackham, but now he's the last man standing, the AWP in his hand. Bomb on his back. 2 kills to his name. Again, damage going to be done to ground 0, but a lot more work needs to come through if Brackham wants to try and get this round under his control. He's going to try and aggress down this ramp position. Flashbangs in from the CTs. Giving him blinds, he holds back towards Old Toxic. He's going to sneak around them. Oh, this could be big. 1 frag. Found Deagle up, tries to clutch, but no. Void wins the fight. Wins the AWP as well for his teammates. 5-1. Ground 0. Losing an early round, but ever since then it has been all CT control. And certainly expected CT control on a map like Nuke. Ground 0. Probably also going to realize that CT side is going to be where they're going to win most of the rounds. And the real challenge will come in that second half when the T-side line is what is tested by them. Here they come, CT's into the standard positions, burst fire sprays through Squeaky on the smoke, but blind shots will not end up with a kill. A lot of damage done to Tensai at least, that's something. Very minimal return over to Moe's part of things, and Void just watching back on the bomb site itself as Burrock repositions himself, and the CT line just kind of holds its own nerve here. AWP in for Zemp, spots, and that's the head off of Noobster. Nice start, Nones, and a second man out towards Red Box. Refacing from Prakham's timed really well though, and catching him with the utility out. So 4 versus 4, but not for long. 3 versus 3 as Prakham continues to trade. Spots one more man out towards the outside, but legs down Burnrock without getting the kill for the T-side line. Man of Eyes returned to ground zero. Burnrock will try and aggress it in towards Squeaky. Might be taken out for his trouble, but he's got backup on the bomb site. Indeed, he will go falling. So, Kingfisher taken out, 10 side. Last one here for Paradox. A clutch and a half for him. Catches one over in the hot position, deals with the man, but unable to get the bomb on his back in time. Has to commit to the A bomb site here. Possibly could wrap around towards B side, but he's going to push through Squeaky. He knows that this door is completely blown open. Looking up. Panic, ready and waiting, looking onto the right angle, suspecting that Tensai might be here. Gives them a bit more cover as well. Tensai looking on, spots him and wins out the fight. 2 kills to his name, a little bit of a better angle this time, and he will get the second on the ball for Paradox. Already doing better in this first half than they did in their last first half. Orps in, AK's out, Galil for Kingfisher, XM1014 for Panic. And the Orp in play for ground zero. With the FAMAS, with a CZ, and with an M4, of course, to play for the CT side. As the Orp strikes first, takes the first man down. Heavy investment from ground zero. If this goes well, this could turn the tide of the match once again back to their favor. Shut down Paradox and everything that they might be worth. First kill on to Prak. Chubb back over to Hot, gets the kill. On Void, only if FAMAS dropped XM1014 from Panic, and look how far pushed up he really is. Anyone wants ramp room control, this is going to get very, very awkward for the T-side line, but meanwhile the outside control certainly working well for them, not looking awkward at all. Get in for Noobster, 3 versus 3, AK's recovered by the CT line. Continue to aggress down the trophy room, it will be Burnrock taken out. Paradox going to continue to move in towards the lobby position. This XM actually might be the important weapon here. 11 points of health on 10 side, and look at how far Panic's pushed up all 3 players. This is going to be a bloodbath for him, and indeed it is. Slow, passive aggression. The XM just slowly repositions itself, slowly pushes in as Paradox think they're safe. They most certainly are not. And the auto shotty gets plenty of money and an AWP for the CT side with an investment that will look better for them as well. Both economies are weakened though going into round 9. So again, this could be a pretty pivotal round in terms of the grand scale of the map up. As a fast hit comes in from the T side, damage being done by those Molotovs. Panic will see them coming forward and wall back over towards the B bomb site. Room control established, and the AWP will face up. Zemp looking for the first. He does catch 10 side just about. Prakham also taken out towards the squeaky push. 5 on 3, head spotted. Orp ready for the next kill. Chubb in a lot of trouble. He will go down with Kingfisher. Now next to face up towards that hell area. Noobster meanwhile looking in over to the A bomb site via Hut. And Void's ready for this. Cuts him down, leaving it all left on the Mac 10. Does burst around the corners, get that AWP out in the hell position, but what can you do with it? Well, he hasn't got the bomb on his back. It's right in the air bomb site, excuse me. CT control in full here for ground zero. A little under 60 seconds left to work with as well. Burnrock will finally take him down. AWP not going to get recovered. They'll keep the AKs in for ground zero. They can afford another AWP if they really wanted to. Actually, no, they can't, excuse me. Scratch that. Eco out for Paradox, fast hit coming in once again. Molotov's down as 10 side. Burns to 21 points of health. But Incendiary's coming in here for Moe, looking on for Kingfisher back at the squeaky area. Tag him up, just early tag damage coming in for both the T and CT lines. Noobster actually will get the first kill on the outside position. The AWP turns on for a secondary frag as well towards main. Tech 9 here for Chubb, catches a headshot of Panic, so man advantage gained by Paradox, and also site control. Deagle's up for Tensai, and suddenly this Eco might actually look a bit more confident than we were expecting. Burnrock pushing up too low, HPT side players to find both with AKs low, so one-shot headshots count against the CT line. Sprays come through. Burnrock holds his nerve. The Tensai goes for a risky face, and it pays off for him. 2 kills to his name, and the T-side players will strike back against Ground Zero and take back a round for them. And again, damage coming through. Leaves not a lot of money to work with for Ground Zero. Economy very unstable. M falls in on 3. SMG. Deagle out for Burnrock. Noobster. Flashed in. Oh, what a flick! Zemp. First man to fall to the T-side line. Noob's in a very awkward position, being pushed up so far, aggressive against the CT forces. Panic now, moving into his own right. Chubb ready to push in through Squeaky. The smoke starts to clear. Maybe we spotted out the headshot angle locked on. Now looking onto the bomb site itself. Meanwhile, the T-side push. Counter over the CT aggression coming into lobby out from the hut position. It's Panic to trade back on Void. Tensai, Chubb do fall alongside Noobster. Suddenly he's back down to a 1 versus 2, but the crossfire is locked from Kingfisher and Prackham. 2 kills for King. Paradox again going to maintain control, lose 3 players for their trouble, but nothing compared to Ground Zero, who lose all of their 5 on a force buy. Paradox. Certainly not wants to go down without a fight, apparently. It's certainly been a very good half so far for GZ. Inside starts. Rackham traded back by the USP of Panic, but that's about as far as it should go. A 4-on-3 situation. Damage being done. Chubb gets down Zen. Void goes falling as well. Burn last man, taken apart just as easily there, but a Paradox side, the rifles versus the pistols, and the rifles will always win it out. Only 1 casualty sustained by the T-side line, and 2 rounds for Paradox to equalize against Ground Zero on the T-side line as well. Marginally better for Paradox at this stage as well. AKs, AWPs, XM, 4 Void, M4s on 2, AUGs on 2 more. CT certainly will be looking good at this stage. It's Paradox, face towards outside. Bracken bursts on through, trying to take down Burnrock, and will do enough damage to him, but it's traded immediately back by the Garage player. Stand at evens for the early engagements in 1:20 minutes on the clock. Still with outside control being established by the CTs. Paradox have vacated this position entirely though as soon as they lost Prackham. Back into lobby and back into the ramp push. It's Panic room ready to receive. It's M4 backed up by the AUG now. XM on the A bomb site still as Panic takes the first player down. Molotov's back out and the AUG spray is combining 2 kills to the name of Zemp. Bomb being dropped, Panic ready for the next one. The last one of Kingfisher. Zemp getting himself 3 kills in this round. Massive impact towards the outside control and eventually shutting down the actual push coming in from Paradox. They will take the lead, win out the half on the Ground Zero side. 8-5. Orbs and AKs back in for Paradox. Orbs in for Ground Zero, but it's still kind of struggling in terms of the buy-ups here. The money hasn't quite stabled out. The AUG will be back on Burnrock, and the XM still here for Void. Still going to be a capable round for them. It all just, I think Paradox went out in terms of the firepower because of the XM. But He will not win out the tactical advantage as Bracken tries to go down for the vent dive, but only ends up losing his life as AWP strike out towards outside position. He will be traded back, but Burn there for a response, and a secondary kill not quite against Kingfisher. Meanwhile, Tenside moves into the A bomb site, turns it to a 2 versus 2. Site control under his line, and Kingfisher's got to pick up that bomb, got to rotate it into the bomb site and get the plant down. Panic and Moe, how do they receive this? How do they go for this retake? One player comes in for the backstab over at lobby position. Panic on Heaven. We're watching towards the outside just in case they go in through main once again, but a bump lump will be heard. Panic, good flash. Moe sneaking up close and personal. Distract Tensai over to the Heaven area, then it might pop that a chance for a kill. And second one coming in from Moe. 2 kills to his name, and 9 on the board for Ground Zero. Final round of the half, Ground Zero up against the force buy of Paradox. They certainly have had the control on that CT side for the entire half. Not quite as confident as they would have wanted to, but certainly going to be looking like a pretty decent Ground Zero side going into their T side line. And a half advantage of double digits. It's 14-1 on the first map, so certainly not going to be as big an improvement. AWP round this corner for Ground Zero starts. Quick kill on Noob. Back in the second, and actually return from Kingfisher comes in pretty nicely, but also turn around from Panic. Tenside swings in, will be dealt with by Mr. Void. Kingfisher and Chubb, last 2 players standing, trying to go in for the vent dive, trying to go in through the squeaky and hot areas. Moe comes up with a kill, does get traded back, but Void comes up with 2 kills of his own right, and 10-5 will be on the board, favor to the CT line of Ground Zero. Not quite an easy affair that we expected, but an affair that works nonetheless. Double flash and P250 for Burn Rock here for the pistol round of Ground Zero. And straight out of the gate, aggression coming in from all the pistol players. Double flashes in, and it will be Moe to get the first player. Spot out the second. Try and take him down. Will spot out Boopster instead and turn his attention towards him where he gets the headshot and swings out wide to finally finish the damage onto the 3K. 2 players left standing. Bracken for the backstab. No one's watching this out for the T-side players, but now finds someone swings it over towards Squeaky, gets his head taken off by Bracken, so back to the man advantage. Only a single man advantage, but not that much longer. Quick kills come in from Void and from Moe. Ground Zero have the 11-5. Amazing and do early damage, but not a lot against Moe. Allowed the first kill here with a Mac 10 spray on Noobster. Khalil up high from Panic. Down towards the vents areas as the T-side line pushes further forward here. Mac 10 around the corner for Moe, gets down 1. Panic gets another. It's 3 kills for the Mac 10. Loads of money gained by the Ground Zero side. All 5 alive as well. The T-side, this is a great start to their second half, and Ground Zero, we've seen them be able to get some very confident halves in off the back of those pistol and conversion victories. Paradox here, it's another eco coming in, so this should be a 13th. But will that be the unlucky number for Ground Zero? That is the question. 5-7's in for 2 P250 for Noobster, 2 USPs in for Chubb and Bracken. CTs make their way out and about for Paradox. Also out and about here for the Ground Zero side, outside particularly out and about. P250 face from Noobster, that's the first man down. That is actually an AK to work with. Could still get dangerous here by the CT forces, but Burnrock and Murray quickly there for the trades back. Chubb's going to be dealt with. AK now in against the likes of Praku and Dead and Buried. Noob, last man over to the ramp room. Might be able to isolate this kill against Burnrock. Indeed, he will be able to do so, but now got to go for the retake here. 2 kills to his name, 4K clutch for him. If he wanted to go for this, if he wants to go for the save, however, that would be the smartest idea. Around this corner he'll face. Not going to get one out. Spray just about manic there from the last man of the ground zero side. 13-5. Pretty dominant map so far here for ground zero. A timeout going to get called by Paradox. Odds are further slipping away from them. Round after round, which has just gone so well for ground zero so far on T-side. This is their CT side as well. Paradox need to get a decent start. They need to start getting some rounds on the board, else this will end up being an ugly one. Three rounds for ground zero to get the 2-0 in this series as well. Again, they are up by a map. They won Paradox's map pick, and Paradox have a hell of a comeback to try and make work against ground zero. They want to force us to our third of dust too, and even then that's going to be a difficult prospect to win against the ground zero side of its own right. Flashes in, AWP out for Noobster, AUG on 2, M4 and a scout to round up against the AKs and the Galil. Ground zero straight up and over, smokes down over to the main area. Moe up with the AK, top of silo. We'll start facing in towards outside common positions for the CT side, but the utility damage has already come in on towards 10 side. Bottles and Burnrock will keep them away from pushing too far forward towards the outside position, but meanwhile they're facing towards the ramp room, excuse me, from Panic Room. Will go well. He takes the first player. Chubb taken out as well towards the outside. 10 side trades it, but Burnrock trades him all the same. Looks on towards heaven when Kingfisher's holding in for his own right. Gets himself a double. Noobster meanwhile turn in against the AK, dropping back in for Moe, leaving it all left to the AUG. 1v2, smoke towards the vent dive. Moe's going to rotate, as will Kingfisher, reading this one like a book and realizing this is definitely going to be a B play. The plant will be coming out back of the bomb site. Eastside player set up well for this. Kingfisher might consider throwing in the towel unless he's got some serious heroic efforts ahead of him. Flash and HE. HE might be able to force one player back out of the back line. That would be good for holding on the defensive against the defuse itself, but naded also the double doors. I'll go up his position. Dropping back down, facing up, looking to decontamination. And Paddock's ready for the 2K. 14-5, 2 rounds away for ground zero. Another timeout being called by Paradox. The forced investment. M4s, AUGs, nades in already. It's out and about for the AK-47s. And P9 in from Chubb will go aggressive and actually catch the headshot of the first player. Not too bad, but Panic Room trades it back. Prackham comes in with one towards the ramp as well. Turns on for a secondary frag. AK picked up on the CT's a Paradox. Now holding a bit of contention. Moe will trade back one more time. Keep the outside control for the T side, but it's a 3 versus 2 man advantage favor to the Paradox boys. As Prackham spots out. Taps on towards Void. Can't take him down. .60 seconds on the clock remain. Molotov's in. So continue to face forward. One player up on the scaffolding, up on the rafters here. The B-bomb site. The catwalk for this B-bomb site. "60 seconds left. Mo is going to try and join Void. Double doors is open and they'll hear that out. Bracken will call it in, but no counter rotations in from Paradox. And keep this man's back turned over to the ramp room where Moe is looking in for a frag. And he gets a spray. The double face comes in. Well played, 2 versus 2. A bomb plant will be allowed in the middle of the smokes. What can Noobster and Tensai do? Paradox, a 4 versus 2 a few moments ago. Now going to double face in. Tensai so not ready for this, but they're going to line up for him. Open the door, and 2 players up. Trays back to Void, 1 versus 1. And Noobster with an AK of his own right. Playing carefully out towards the double doors. 2 very opposite ends of the map. Molotovs in may force Void to face in. And the diffuser's on the other side. It's not planted for him. Oh no, positional disadvantage. Void will concede, but Paradox do just about recover their round. 6 on the board for the CT side. But for a minute, it looked like maybe, just maybe, ground 0. We're going to pull this back up in a 4 versus 2. Down in a 4 versus 2, I might add. Up out for the T side, AKs on 4, 2 AUGs, 2 M4s, 1 AK saved for Kingfisher. Outside control re-established by the CTC on the initial defensive. Ground 0 playing quickly into their setups. No smokes to support them crossing in towards Secret, which may be a bit of a risk. Panic wants to try and use it to get some control. Not ready for Noobster's very, very passive corner angle. Moe will get towards Secret though as Noobster traded back. Chubb also peeking up towards Secret. Not ready for this man to be in control. And now it's a 2-for-1 trade as outside it's completely dominated by Ground 0. Paradox mostly focusing on the upper bomb side defensive. Bracken will try rotate up. Kingfisher will get caught in getting aggressive with his own right. Burnrock takes him down and Tensai timed well against the face. Pop flash away will be evaded. Sprays come through. Now Bracken's dealt with and Burnrock gets the 2K. And a 15th map and match point for Ground 0. And Paradox, not a lot of breathing room for them. Force investment, XM, 2 for Marses, 1 UMP and 1 CZ. 9 rounds to overtime for the CT side. And quick hit coming out as Panic makes his way up. Kingfisher trading, Deagles out. They do maintain control. Fast hit coming in from Ground 0 and the CT shut it down. The bomb makes its way down towards the B bomb site. Bop dropping in from the vent dive. Tensai will deal with it and drop that one in the vent room. But Burnrock comes up with 1 kill. Sprays on the second man. Knows that there's 1 out towards vents as well. And 2 players here for the crossfire. Burnrock has got to get through the vents area. He's got to drop in, take down 2 CT players at it. Minute and 15 is going to opt for the very long rotation back out and over via the ramp room position. Look at the crossfire as well. No one's really watching. I guess the doors are open. I guess the window has not been popped in. Burnrock can confirm this. As soon as you open this door though. Tensai rotates, Noobster here for the cross up, spots him. Burnrock spraying on through, 30 seconds remaining as he gets himself up towards the A-bomb site, and Tensai survives at 5 points of HP. 3 kills to his name. A great defense being thrown up there by the Paradox side, but Ground 0 kind of gave it up to them playing so quick and so aggressive, so fast and loose enough to the point where Paradox were able to unbind the T side. Reinvestment comes out from the GZ boys. AWP for Zemp. AKs, AUGs for Mars out for Kingfisher. Paradox. Very heavy investment by comparison. But rifles out for everybody. Let's see how the cards fall. Spray in for Burnrock, trying to get the first kill onto Bracken. Will do damage to the man. The 5 versus 5 scenario as the CTs try and catch off players. Good feek in from Noobster. Catches the first man out towards Silo Boost. Look for the second as well from Panic. But not seeing the AWP back on the boxes. 4-on-3 situation though. Well established by the CT forces. Smokes in, Tensai ready, face up from Void. Tensai sprays on towards one, can't connect to the second. And Noobster in towards Vents area, he's got to deal with this AWP. Both players up close and personal. Prackham comes in from heaven, faces, goes down, it's all a Noobster. 1 versus 2 scenario. 4K clutch for him to keep Paradox alive here in the map and the series as the bomb makes his way up and over to the bomb site. Not being watched out by Zemp. Bomb plant. Eventually heard. Noobster thinks it's the B bomb site.
Bomb has been planted.
Should know now. AUG in or watching. But I'm not going to find a bit of a blind spot. This does work with this does work to the favour of Noobster a little bit if he keeps that left hand side. Sneaking against the AWP. Fires off that first shot, and eventually Bone Rock comes in with a side swipe. 16-7, 2-0. A pretty